This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. A man is this morning fighting for his life in hospital following an incident off Shirley Street after midnight. The victim was reportedly in the area of London Terrace when he was attacked by a group of males who stabbed him. Authorities say the 25-year-old is in critical condition. Armed robbery is still a major problem for police, who are reporting another 2 such matters over the past 24 hours. The latest just after 2 this morning. As the story goes, a female was walking on Balfour Avenue when a man with a sharp object physically assaulted her. In the process, she was robbed of cash and other personal items before her assailant ran off. At last report, the woman had been taken to hospital. Several hours prior, a man says he was walking on Foxhill Road when he was robbed by 2 gunmen. The gun-wielding suspects reportedly fled the scene in a black Honda Accord. Mr. Coakley, Doc, or Cokes, but by whatever name former Senator Dr. Doswell Coakley answered, he was more than just a public servant who encouraged ideas, but a friend and brother, and that's how his former employee, James T. Roll, will forever remember him.
He despised mediocrity. He promoted excellence and endorsed service to the general public as their right and not a favor given by the servant. My friend was the diplomat who, even though he was politically appointed, he served and promoted his country rather than his party. Doswell's very short political tenure was overshadowed only by his desire to see national political maturity.
Mr. Roll also found his friend to be an astute businessman, seeking to bridge the gap between the present and the future, a philanthropist, giving the best to less fortunate, a revered family man, and what he called an academic fanatic.
He was a disciple, advocating everyone who came within his contact, the old and the young, to build what is known as a knowledge-based identity. Ironically, his pastime was watching world news, monitoring the political climate at home and worldwide, and always offering solutions to problems that no one else seemed to solve.
Also bringing tribute to Coakley's state-recognized funeral at Christ Church this morning was Deputy Prime Minister Peter Turnquest, who too fondly remembered the fellow Rotarian, his friend as a great Bahamian, who started his professional life as a police officer, but through diligence, commitment, and purpose, rose to become a statesman.
My wife described him as a gentle and kind man because he always spoke very softly. Always very, very complimentary, very supportive. He will be missed, certainly on those Sunday mornings when, again, just being in the presence of somebody who is genuine is such a pleasure and a easing of burden for those of us who know about politics and being a politician.
A private interment followed. The passing of broadcasting pioneer and diplomat Kelsey Johnson certainly leaving a hole in the hearts of members of the journalism fraternity. Bahamas Press Club expressing its sadness in a statement that touted Mr. Johnson as a consummate broadcaster who rose through the ranks of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from a reporter to eventually general manager. In 2016, the Press Club awarded him the Etienne de Puch Lifetime Achievement Award. On the political scene, Prime Minister Sir Lyndon Pinley appointed him as a senator following his failed bid to win a seat in the 1992 general elections. In 2013, Prime Minister Perry Christie appointed Johnson to the Bahamas High Commission to Ottawa, Canada. Johnson died early Wednesday morning at the age of 83. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis sitting in an unfamiliar seat in the House of Assembly this morning, the gallery, as an observer to this year's Youth Parliament. Each youth parliamentarian was given 5 minutes to speak on climate change and offer up suggestions to address it. It's a topical issue, particularly given what the Bahamas recently faced with Category 5 Storm Dorian. The South Beach representatives suggesting the Bahamas create partnerships with those small islands who have executed successful disaster management plans. She, however, admonished the Bahamas not to overcommit to just one disaster. Here's what else she recommends, along with those of Killarney and Exuma and the Ragged Islands.
I make one more important appeal to Bahamians today. Ensure your lifeblood. Ensure your hard work. Ensure your home. More of our Bahamians needs to be insured for events and catastrophes. It is coming and we cannot afford to take it off the hook. First, we must find other methods of energy. The world has changed its path from oil and fuel to renewable energy. Though wind turbines may not be effective in the Bahamas, solar energy is. By building a solar energy farm on Crown land, it will ease the load on the grid, which will eventually allow Bahamians to sit in the comfort of their homes without wondering if they'll be hit by PPL and their 3-hour load-shedding rotation schedule. Mr. Speaker, we must all join the conversation. The ordinary man on the street, the fisherman, the businessman, and the government, the rich and the poor must all help to make our archipelagic nation more resilient against the effects of climate change.
Youth in Parliament is all a part of activities slated for Youth Month, which also includes the National Youth Awards, the Youth and Band Encounter on Sunday in Rawson Square, and the climax, the National Youth March. Here's Youth, Sports and Culture Minister Lanisha Roll.
Last year, we had about 5,000 youth that marched throughout the streets of the Bahamas, declaring their unity, their solidarity, youth at the forefront of change. This year, as you know, we celebrate Youth Month under the theme Globally Connected, Locally Focused. It allows us to recognize the inroads that we've had in terms of social media, in terms of communication, and that is primarily being done through a number of young proprietors, youth, and young innovative people. And so we are celebrating all that the youth have done, the good things that they are doing, and we are declaring that our youth will continue to do good things for, by, and on behalf of the people of the Bahamas.
Our final story is up next.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.